User in your channel started recording.
Children of the land, can you hear?
User in your channel started
Echoes of truths that once rang clear. Two souls intertwined, one true love they did find, bringing land and heaven's need. The flames of painful gods sing memories dimmed by shattered hearts. In the wax and in vain the lovers mourn, watching as their words
Hello and welcome to the 21st episode of the Whispering Dawn podcast. We are a weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast that goes live every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just in case you're listening on the audio version that you find on either iTunes or Stitcher. If you're watching now, then you obviously know we're live at 9:30. You can whisper us at thewhisperingdawn@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at whispering_dawn. You can also whisper us on Facebook at facebook.com/whisperingdawn, or since I haven't mentioned it in forever, you can actually Tumblr us on Tumblr at tumblr.com/whisperingdawn.
Holy crap, we have a Tumblr?
Yeah, we have a Tumblr.
Yeah, we have all the things. All the things.
I just keep forgetting to mention it.
Also, something to mention is we do actually have a official Whispering Dawn Patreon page, so if you're interested, you want to support the podcast, help us get better equipment, and provide better entertainment for you, the viewers and listeners, you can check us out at patreon.com/whisperingdawn.
Good job, Nell. And my name is Kasimi Rylith. I am your host. And today, as you already heard, we do have Nell Celestine.
Where is she? She sounds super cool. I want to meet her.
You know what? I met her once, and I gotta say, I don't know. I'm not so sure about her. Totally kidding, by the way.
And Dempray Cox.
Hi.
So, how has everybody's in-game life been going?
My in-game life has been suffering a little bit for the last week. I have been doing my streaming marathons for the Road to Xenoblade Chronicles X. So three nights a week, I've been doing at least 4 to 6 hour streams of Xenogears, and it's been taking a toll. I did 10 hours yesterday, and I was exhausted by the end of it.
Dad, can I give you some coffee? Do you want to borrow my Keurig for a week? You have to give it back though. But you know.
I work in a cafe. I'm good on coffee.
Okay.
My in-game life has actually been really good this past week. I don't know if anybody's been, keeping us up on our Twitter, because I posted something really cool that happened to me on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I finally got past Bismarck Extreme.
Yay.
Oh, nice! Congrats!
Yay.
Although I do have to ask, because of my addiction, did the card drop?
I don't know.
Check your inventory. If you have it in your inventory, you probably got the drop.
Probably not. Do you have to have, the, going through the triple triad thing before you get the card drop?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll never get a card drop because I haven't gone through that yet.
Dude, you totally should, just so that you can acquire the cards in case at some point you do want to play triple triad. Like,
It doesn't hurt, and the fact of the matter is, like, you get them, you use it once, it's in your deck permanently, and then any extras that you might get from redoing content, you can just cash it in for free MGP.
exactly, that's what I do.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that then.
Yeah,
at
just
some point.
basically unlock it and then play the tutorial person once, and then boom, you can start getting them from dungeons, bosses, and instances.
Oh, okay. But there's more to the story. So, not only did we clear it, but we one-shotted the beast, so that was awesome in itself. But the cool thing happened after we got out of the primal fights and everything. The person who put it on Party Finder friended me and then sent me a message that I found very heartwarming and awesome. He said I was the best astrologian he's ever seen, and for me to keep up the good work.
Ah, yes, I remember reading you posting that. Good job.
I'm really happy for you. That's really awesome. I think that a lot of people are not so good with Astrologian. I think that a lot of people got a free ticket with the new jobs because they started right at 30. And for me, that I found it difficult to. I would rather have started those jobs at level 1 and worked up to 30 than just getting the free 30. And I have to applaud people who picked up those jobs and didn't take advantage of that and really sat down and, in a sense, took themselves back to level 1 with that class and learned it as in depth as you have. That I think is something that not a lot of people maybe have done, or at least that's my isolated experience thus far. So props to you.
Well, if you remember correctly, when everything was being, announced and everything, the classes, and when they first announced that it was going to start at level 30, I was complaining about that, and that we should have been starting at level 1. And everybody was saying to me on the podcast, oh, it's fine. It's fine, you have to wait forever then to get to, 60, and yeah.
You know what, though? I don't think that would have been the case. I mean, because you can cruise from level 1 to level 30. I mean, running fates, running guild hests, running early level dungeons, running your daily leveling. I think that you can do that pretty quickly. So I argue that maybe that wasn't the best call that they've made when it came to implementing new jobs.
I can kind of see that, but I am also on the opposite side of the fence that starting them at 30 is that way they start off as a job rather than having to design a class, then level 1 to 30 class quest, and then job quests on top of that.
No, I kind of agree with that, and we probably still wouldn't be talking about, we probably shouldn't have talked about the storyline if that's what would have happened, because I probably wouldn't have done the storyline yet, because I am slow when it comes to leveling, so. And the other thing that happened to me this week is I finally cleared Alex Normal 4, so I finally got that cleared.
Congratulations! Did you get anything from it?
Yeah, I got, I think a piece of the body, so I think I can get a couple more of those before I can get anything. So, I mean, I probably won't be going back into it. We'll see. But at least I got it cleared, so now I can start. So now I can get into a static and start running Savage and.
Oh, I'm excited for you. You're gonna love it. It's so hard. It's so ridiculously hard. It's great. It's great.
I guess that means you will be our endgame raid specialist.
No. That's gonna be Kosa. Because she's in the static already.
That'll be me. I did make the cut last week to get in with a group of dudes, and I say dudes like within the literal term of these are some guys, and they're really great and they're really good, and we almost got a clear on my tryout for them. We got close to the clear.
That's a very good tryout then.
Yeah, so I was really, really impressed I'm stoked. So we're running that tonight, and as soon as we get it clear, you know what? The Twitterverse is gonna hear it from me. You guys are gonna hear it from me. I'm so stoked.
My fingers are crossed for you. Raiding is not something I'm necessarily interested in doing anymore. I kind of got burnt out on it pretty bad in 2.0. So I think I'm going to avoid the raiding scene for a while, which is why I'm kind of glad that they split Alex into normal and savage.
I don't
I
blame
am
you.
too.
Yeah,
However,
I don't
I'm
blame
not going to be starting it anytime soon. Well, at least until after I move to Goblin, so...
you. Or
I mean, there's...
Cathar, you know, just putting that out there.
I mean, there's no point in me joining a static when I'm going to be leaving the server here in the next, like, week or two, so...
Fair enough.
No, there's
Fair
not.
enough.
Fair enough, yeah.
So there's been a few things that dropped in the game, or outside the game, and it's not a lot, but I guess it's something, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just say
Let's see, what do we got here? Do we want to talk about packs, or do we want to talk about hair?
Well, let's go ahead and start with packs there. Now, do you want to take this real quick, or did I just put you on the spot?
I'll jump on it then. They had the PAX Final Fantasy XIV booth as usual. This year they had the Ravana bottle, which, to be completely honest, Ravana is my favorite primal of all time at the moment. On Saturday, they also hosted a Final Fantasy XIV sound panel with sound director Masayoshi Soken. Woo! Soken! And English localization lead Christopher Koji Fox about the music behind Ravana, Bismarck, and Alexander. Unfortunately, for those of us who weren't there, we kind of got screwed for good chunks of that panel as the PAX internet was wonky and the panel feed kept cutting out.
So you were able to catch the live stream?
What parts of it were live? Yeah, I attempted to, but it kept cutting out.
So what was so special about the Goblin Mask that was handed out to everybody?
I think that part cut out, but on the inside of the mask was the lyrics for Metal, and it was just, I would kill to get my hands on one of those. Maybe one year I'll go to PAX.
Maybe if people would actually donate to our Patreon page, we can use some of that money to go to some of these big conventions.
Yeah, and see if we could get interviews, get some feedback directly from the devs. That would be awesome. Now, thankfully, for those like myself who got bits and pieces, or those who completely missed it, there is an archive video available on the YouTube page with Final Fantasy XIV Koji and Soken's Wild Ride is the name of the panel. So you can watch the whole thing in its entirety there. I have not gotten around to watching that yet.
I haven't either, so...
I don't know.
Right, I did one. Somebody else's turn.
Okay, are we going on to hairstyles now?
Yeah, let's talk about the hairstyle design contest, which ends actually tonight at 11 p.m.
Yeah. Okay, did you guys vote? I voted.
Yeah, I voted.
Yeah,
I can't remember off the top of my head the numbers that I voted for, but there was a really, really cute one that there was up for the girls with that looked kind of like it had this braid coming down the side, like the single braid.
I thought that one was really pretty. You guys want to know which one I voted for?
Sure.
I voted for, and there's a reason behind why I did this. Not that I thought that it was necessarily the my favorite, but it clipping. I don't know how many times you guys have had issues with clipping, but I love the long hairstyles, but they bug me because they clip. So I voted for, there was a short one that had like braids right above the ear and was like wavy and with the bottom and like some highlights on the sides and the top. And then there were some bangs kind of in the front, like a side swept bang. And I don't think it's going to win. And then for the guy's hair, I voted for the one where the dude looks like Nikki Sixx. Because I just would really love to see somebody rock some like striped pants with like the America flag, like the old Bard pants, the level 50 Bard gear, and dress up like Nikki Sixx. I think that would be fabulous. So that's what I voted for.
The America hairstyle.
Mm-hmm. And so the reason why I voted, first of all, of course, I want to see the hairstyle they like the best, but if you voted and you participated, which you guys still have time to do, not a lot of time, but a little bit of time, what, an hour and 15 minutes, right? I think?
Well, it's 11 p.m. Pacific time, so...
Right, so that's... Yeah, you guys have 1 hour and 13 minutes to get on and cast your votes. If you... Right?
Nope, they got more than that. They got about 5 hours.
5 hours, Pacific Daylight Time. Okay, I can't do time zones. You guys know I'm bad with numbers. Anyways,
It's
if
okay.
if you go on and you vote, you're going to be entered into a random sweepstakes drawing, and you can win a Scarf of Wondrous Wit. I don't know what that is, but I want it.
It's an old style of 1.0 clothing that's basically a bandit mask.
I'm okay with that. Still want it.
No, I don't know about everybody else, but I do go to stuff like Tumblr, and I see stuff on Twitter. People are kind of bemoaning some of the choices that were made, and that some of the stuff that they left out was actually better. So.
And better is subject to opinion. It's Square's contest. They picked which ones they like the best, and then have us vote on them. It's not the individual submitters contest. It's Square's. And yes, your idea might look better to you and dozens of other people, but you're not the ones running the contest.
Right.
And the other thing that I've seen that people have issues with is some of the entries were like photographs, and they thought it was a specific drawing contest. So,
Well, some people aren't artistically talented, but are more hairstyle-y talented.
that's true.
Okay, should we move
Well,
on here to Edda?
Actually, let's talk about this contest we got going on, because
Okay.
we should probably mentioned it a little earlier in the podcast here, but we are doing a contest, a screenshot contest with minions, and we've got some entries already, and they look amazing. So
Ooh, I like the first one so far.
I know a lot of these are actually pretty good, and I did forget on the last podcast to say how to enter this contest. There's 3 ways you can enter. Each way is just a picture. You can either tweet at us at whispering_dawn. You can email us at thewhisperingdawn@gmail.com, or because I want to make this relevant, you can go onto our Facebook account and post your picture there as well. Facebook.com/whisperingdawn. That's 3 ways you can enter, and like I said, we want the picture to be something that wows us with these. So we like to see more wowing. Wow, that seems to be a word.
Wowing. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked, and if Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the Makote trying to steal all the goddamn peppers?
Jesus, cat.
Yeah, we want you to wow us with these screenshots. And like we said last week, we want no potatoes dressed up as a minion.
I want a potato dressed up as a minion. I'm sorry. I wasn't here last week because I was at a concert. Where do I get my say in this? I want to see a potato as a minion. Can we put a little, the Spriggan hat on it?
No Lalafell as minions. I know they're short
Ah.
enough, but no Lalafells as minions.
They don't count.
No real life minions, and no using your free company as minions.
We're looking at you, Paul.
Good one. Good one.
But yes, so submit your minion pictures of you and your minion in the most awesome kind of pose you can think of. Something that shows off not only yourself, your minions, but your love between the two of you.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
I was saying that they need to show off the love between themselves and the minions.
Oh yeah, and so far the ones that we got so far, it captures that like very good so far.
Indeed. The three that we have here are fantastic.
I want to see, God, what do I want to see? I want to see, let's see, what minions do I want to see? How about...
Don't give them away. You don't want to give them something that might be like, oh, if I do this one, I'll win, kind of thing.
I want to see, okay, so let's keep it a little nondescript then. I want to see your hard-earned minions. The minions you got by fighting in glorious battle with others, and you spent your time and you did your roles and you worked for that minion. Not necessarily in gil, not necessarily in dollars, but in blood, sweat, and tears. And I want to see the bond you have and the appreciation you have for that minion, because it took you that much to get it. That's what I want to see. So can we see some of that?
I don't have one of those, but I have a Bloodstained Triple Triad card.
Hey, you know what? If you cuddle that card and you hug it and you love it, I'm good with that.
It's covered in 350 pieces of blood from Ultros and Typhon.
You know what? I give it to you. You know what? You win. You win. Let's not even do the contest anymore.
But no, seriously, send us awesome pictures.
And now you know actually how to enter this. You
Yes.
got 3 different ways.
So let's
And-
say them again. Let's say them again, just so we're clear. Everybody's clear.
You can submit them on Twitter, through our email, and on our Facebook accounts. Three different ways.
So many ways, much win, so contest, wow.
Love your minions, guys. We want to see that bond, like you have with your cat or your dog, or I don't know what else do people have? Ferrets, birds.
Now, speaking of minions, I've actually seen 2 minions drop in new dungeons, and I lost the roll for them both times. First one was the Owlets and Fractal, and the other one was the Ugly Duckling and Neverread.
Yeah.
But I lost the roll on both of them.
Aww.
Like 3 times, and you know what else I lost? The Jaylee cat.
I suppose it could. Is there one that drops, like minion that drops from the area at all?
Yes.
Yes, but I don't remember which one it is.
I don't remember which one it is either.
So.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't really. I'm not sure if I really want it, but I have to run the area a whole heck of a lot still.
Why?
Nidhogg. I need the Nidhogg card. 5-star, which means its rarity is ridiculous.
Oh, it's the panda.
Oh, that's where the panda drops?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Whoever this screenshot I'm looking on right now, if they would enter this one's a wow picture here. I love this picture, but too bad that they're not submitting this picture.
Well, I want to see your red pandas, guys. Let me see your red pandas. Show me. Show me your pandas.
Mini pandas, much panda, much nice.
Much wow. Such a maze.
There, that's the picture I'm looking at right now.
Alright, let's take a look at this. Let's see. Let's see. That is the cutest freaking thing I've ever seen. Okay, alright. Well, I really want to see your pandas. And I mean that in every ridiculous way possible. Show me your pandas.
Yeah, I would like to, yeah, I would like to see him too. I'd like to see more minions, actually. More different minions.
Yeah,
Minions I
yeah.
don't have. The one...
I would ask for that, but that's really a difficult thing.
You know, I just want to see minions, and I love people who love their minions, and we'd love to give more screenshots here of people and their minions. So yeah, definitely send them. Now that we know where to send them at.
It looks like the stream would like you to link the minion picture.
Okay, there we go. The link is in the stream there. Well, at least in the chat there, if you want to look at it. Watch the person who actually owns that picture, like, looks at it right now and be like, okay, I'm sending it in right now. But yeah, it's the panda is the one that's dropped from the Aerie, so good luck there. Since you have to run it so much for the Nidhogg card,
I'll
Hopefully
probably
it'll
get a panda before I get the Nidhogg card at this rate.
Probably, yeah.
The 3 cards I need are Cloud Strife, and I need 310k MGP. I need the Bismarck card, which drops from hard mode in EX, and I need the Nidhogg card, which only drops in the Aerie. So I've probably got about 2 months to finish that.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, that's a cute pic. Sorry, we got a new entry. I don't know if he actually qualifies here since he's part of the podcast, but I think we'll let it slide.
No. Not if it's the actual, unless it's an actual minion, it doesn't count.
Oh, it's an actual minion.
I don't know. Oh.
Well, we'll consider it and put it aside for now then.
Let's see this. Let's see. Oh, no. I love it.
Okay, yeah, I'll allow that into the contest. That's adorable.
Yeah, I love it. It is adorable. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, what else do we have to talk about today?
Actually, let's step back a little bit from the game and let's not talk about the game for a little bit here. There's a couple of different reasons why a lot of people play this game, and I'm talking about Final Fantasy XIV, but some of it has to do with the fact that we just love Final Fantasy. So the question I want to ask is, what was your earliest memories of Final Fantasy here? Like, who got into it at 1?
I did.
My very
Everybody.
first memory of Final Fantasy was I screwed up my mom's save file for the original Final Fantasy on the NES.
How did you do that?
I saved over her file.
Hear you say it.
I saved over her file with characters that were named like XPR1 plus. Because I had no idea what I was doing at the time. I was like, what, 3, I think?
Oh,
Well, I really feel really old now.
It came out in what, 86?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
did.
yeah, I would have been 4 then, 3 or 4.
I played the original Final Fantasy myself, and I remember just, picking up the parties and being wowed by this game, actually. And, then you start, like, you beat the game, then you go back and you start doing like the stuff that people are saying, okay, this is the hardest way to win this game, and then you start putting those characters in. And I remember
For
just doing,
white
like,
mages, it'll never work.
yeah, that's one of them. And then the people said, oh, this party is like the easiest, like full black mage or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay. But I mean, that was fun because like you just got to pick. Like, the one thing I liked about it is you just picked what class there was, and you just went through the game, and that was actually really fun.
Yeah, for some reason though, I always remember like my first couple times going through, I always really picked a balanced team. Now that I think about it, it was always one fighter, one thief, a red mage, and either a black mage or a white mage. I always had a very balanced team.
I think a lot of people do that. Even like I know when a couple of playthroughs that I've done, I've actually done that too. It's just a nice balanced party, and you just. But you get this one playthrough where you just like, okay, what happens if I just do all fighters or all thieves or all white mages?
The hardest playthrough that I can think of would be all monks, because the sheer amount of potions you have to buy for the first half of that game.
Yes. But yeah, I played the first one. I didn't play the second one though.
Now, are we
It's the one
talking
that
the
was
actual
released in
second,
North
or are we talking like Final Fantasy IV on the Super Nintendo, which is really older too?
I'm talking about the one that was released over here as 2, which is Final Fantasy IV. So I didn't play the next one in the series that I actually did play was Final Fantasy VI, which was released over here as 3.
Stand up, walk 2 feet, pick up cartridge. You mean this one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's one of the jewels in my collection, and to be honest, that is for mainline numeral Final Fantasy games, that is my favorite.
It's not my favorites. My favorites was I actually played and gasp, how dare I play this on an emulator at the time, because it was not even released over here, was actually the regular Final Fantasy 3.
God, I played that on DS when it came out over here, and I don't think I ever finished it.
Oh, I picked it up when it came on DS too, and I never finished it, but I did finish it on the emulator. And I love that game. I even bought it when it was on Steam. Well, it's still on Steam, but I bought it, so... Yeah, it's one of the first ones I actually bought on Steam. So, it's one of my favorites.
If I had to pick an overall favorite, I have a tie for my absolute favorite games with the Final Fantasy title.
Oh.
The first one is a very popular choice, that would be Final Fantasy Tactics. And the second is a very unpopular choice with Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
Ooh, Mystic Quest. I did like Tactics. That was a really good one. And I actually did when I did play it, I did like Mystic Quest. So,
to quote somebody else, Mystic Quest is the perfect RPG when you're feeling lazy.
however, after I played 6, the next Final Fantasy I played was not until, and a lot of people are probably gonna hate on me for this, not until 10.
It's okay. You know what? I'm okay with that. Because you're still into it. I don't think that there should be any hate or restriction on what you love. I mean, I grew up playing the game, and that's part of why I wanted to talk about this, was that, one doesn't mean you don't like it just as much as the next person. So I'm all about it. My favorite was 3, 10. The only ones I didn't like was 8. 8 I wasn't a huge fan of. 12 wasn't a huge fan of.
Okay, so Demi's just been booted out of the S Casuals, apparently.
No, I'm way beyond casual.
Scalia's
Yeah.
hashtag is the S Casuals, and his charity marathon was Final Fantasy VIII, which is
However,
his
let me-
favorite game.
I do have to asterisk the 10 though, because I did play 7. I played it for about 5 minutes on a computer, which I got from my friend at the time. I made it 5 minutes into the game, and I said, screw this game, stop playing it until much later in life. When I picked it up again, played it the whole way through, and said, this game is not as good as everybody says it is.
It's not a bad game. It's just, it's not the super stellar thing that everyone thinks it is. Because what I think majority of people are having is they're having nostalgia goggles because it was huge, promoted, and basically blasted into you, and people remember the really awesome parts from it, but they don't remember all the mundane grind that was in between.
That's true.
Like, how many people remember the dolphin jumping minigame, or the giving the girl CPR minigame, or the finding Yuffie in the pots minigame?
I forgot about those.
I rest my case.
And I did see my friend playing 8, and it seemed interesting. Well, actually, he played a demo of 8. Let me rephrase that. And it actually looked pretty good. So I do have 8 on my Steam. I still have to play it. Maybe I'll stream that at some point.
One game I would love to see you stream if you haven't played it before. Unfortunately, it's not on Steam, so the only way you could play it is PlayStation Network, or finding an original copy would be to play 9. 9 is a beautiful title. It's a homage to all things Final Fantasy, and even just all
it.
things that Square Enix did. It is a beautiful game.
I agree. It's one of my favorite games. I do have it. I actually got it like a couple years ago, and actually my copy is written all over it by some person who, I guess, turned her collection in, and her name's on every single disc. It's on the cover of the game. But gosh darn it, am I going to play the heck out of it? Did I play the heck out of that game? And yes, I do love 9. So I do agree with you there. And
I remember
yes,
Sakaguchi went on record saying that it's his favorite as well.
I do want to stream 9, and I think at some point I will stream it. I just need to find a way to stream it from my PS2, so...
You and me will talk sometime soon.
Yeah, we will. But yeah, the Final Fantasy series is one I love, and I own like every single game from 9 to 13, or not 13 to 12, minus 11 because I can't find those discs anywhere anymore for the PS2. But I own all those games, and on Steam I own 8 and 3. So yeah, this series is one of my favorites, and it's one I play every time I get bored and want to play something that I love. So, and there's a game in the series I love that most people hate. So, and that's Final Fantasy X2.
Hey, everyone has to have something that they like out of the series, and people enjoyed it enough that it was included in the HD remake, and they even hinted at an X3.
Oh, they hinted at an X3?
Do you have the HD collection?
I do not.
I do.
There is a bonus in the HD collection that is basically a hint and a possible preview for 10.3.
Yay! I gotta go. Oh, crap.
And I'll just say this,
Never
that Chemi, the character introduced, is probably going to be my favorite Final Fantasy X based character of all time, narrowly edging out Riku.
Wait a minute, they introduced a new character?
For 10.3, yes.
Yes, the 10
And it's not really a spoiler because it's mentioned like 5 minutes into the preview. Is Chemi is Oron's daughter.
Oh, okay.
So
My-
I'm replaying 10 HD on PS4 right now, and when I do play it the next time, I will be sure to stream it, and I will be sure to put out a tweet if anybody wants to watch. I'm not going to say it's going to be exciting or amazing or anything, but it's going to happen.
Well, I don't think after my streaming of The Last of Us, I don't think people are going to expect much. Because I stream that through my PS4, and unfortunately I don't have a headset for that, so I can't really talk.
So I will, and I will talk, I guess. If I need to, if you guys want me to talk, I'll talk.
Can't be any worse than me going through some of the really low points in Xenogears.
Yeah, you've got a point. I mean, I don't know if FF10 has any low points at all, honestly.
Interestingly enough, I learned this very recently. Apparently, Xenogears was the original pitch idea for Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, really?
Really? Okay.
Yeah, apparently it was
kinda see
refused
that,
because the storyline was considered, quote, too dark.
Oh, okay. Like the storyline that they went with was not as dark.
Oh, trust me, having played both of them, I could tell you Xenogears is a lot darker.
A lot darker. I agree. Definitely for a much more mature audience. I agree with that 110%.
So yeah, as soon as I can start streaming my PS2, I will actually I want to stream all my collection of PS2 games, but definitely Final Fantasy is going to be the first ones I start with. So
Actually, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to mute my microphone. Keep talking.
but have you played 9 at all?
I played 9. I played the heck out of 9. My best friend named her dog Tifa.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But the one thing I love was like all the homages to like the original games, like Vivi, and I like the fact that what's her name dressed it up as the White Mage in her escape.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
I'm back, and I'm assuming the White Mage dressing up in her escape, that would be Garnet from Final Fantasy IX?
Garnet, yeah.
Yes.
Garnet till Alexandros.
And here we go, Kasumi. I found one of my other backup pieces of equipment, USB, video, and audio grabber.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll just find a way to mail this down to you, and you should be all set to go.
Why, thank you then. But the one thing I was looking into, I was actually looking into Final Fantasy summons because I got curious on like, you know, how many more primals we can actually have in this game, and there turns out to be a lot more than we can have in this game.
I know, there is a ton of potential primals. I remember listening to LBR the other week saying that there wasn't that many. I'm like, there's a lot more than you realize.
Oh yeah, there's a lot out there, especially in some of the secure ones. So
yeah, there's several games where there's only like the summon would only appear in one game, and there's more than enough justification to bring that kind of stuff here.
Right?
Yeah, the one that I actually found very surprising was Bismarck is not an original to Final Fantasy XIV, and I thought it was.
No,
for some
he's
reason.
not. He's not. I can't remember where he came from, but
I remember
he
him
was
in
not an original.
6, but I don't think he was in 5. So that would
No,
make him
it
6
was-
would be his first.
Yeah, his 6 was his first.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
And I've seen that, and I'm like, really? I did not know this. But yeah, there's a ton more that I'd love to see. going for like Final Fantasy X, Velafor, I would love to see, and what was it, Anima? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'd love
Well,
to be able to see those two.
there is one that was name dropped in the Summoner storyline that we haven't actually seen the actual primal for yet.
Who's that?
Belias.
Yeah, Belias.
Belius, yeah. I think that we had talked about that, didn't we?
No, we did not.
We did not, okay.
But yes, Belias is canonically in the game somewhere. We just need to find Belias somewhere in the game. But they also mentioned Ravana being an original primal to the Final Fantasy series. This is both technically true and technically not.
Okay, go ahead and say technically not, because I couldn't find it anywhere else but Final Fantasy XIV, so let me know why it wasn't.
It's a boss in Vagrant story.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I remember that, yeah.
It's a not like a full-on boss, but like you can fight a couple of them. But Ravana is a four-armed, sword-wielding boss in Vagrant story.
Oh, okay. I want to see the Magus sisters in the game.
Oh god, that would be crazy.
It would be.
I agree.
I would hate to see the extreme version of that. Although it would make sense to be in a Hildebrand storyline.
That one I would give people being in the Hildebrand storyline.
Yeah, Doom Train needs to appear in the Hildebrand storyline as well. Allow me to put this in perspective, and I said this on Chocobo Dash, which will be coming out shortly. Doom Train has one famous moment tied to it that was technically a coding bug, but Square decided to leave in even in the remakes. It's Saban suplexing it. There is no way that they can suplex Doom Train in this game in any way, shape, or form other than Godbert.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I'd really not like to see Doom Train being put in that storyline, but I guess I'll have to do.
It makes the most sense in the fact that the other primal that we're supposed to be getting, if you think about it, Bismarck is very clearly wind and water. Ravana is very much earth and fire, so all that leaves is ice and lightning, and Doom Train's not really ice and lightning based.
This is true. I would like to see Ashura in this game. I don't know why.
That sounds like something that would be good for later on.
Yeah.
You know what would be
yeah,
kind of funny? If
what?
Doom Train is brought about because Garleans are shipping crystals and one of their people is like, man, I really wish we could get there faster.
That would be awesome. But like you said, I think everybody would be want to actually, suplex it. So I think everybody's kind of written Doom Train into a corner, and that's being part of the Human Brand storyline, unfortunately.
Yeah, doesn't necessarily mean that's the case, but you never know. Until
That's
it's actually released, we don't know for sure.
This is true. Before we get into our last segment here, which is actually kind of depressing. I don't know why we decided to end with that, but just want to remind everybody who's watching on live on our stream here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv Whispering Dawn. You do have 2 days to complete the festivals, and that's the Rising and the Moonfire Fair. So just wanted to let everybody know that you still got a couple more days on those. The Rising is worth it to do.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can get on and do it, I'd say definitely get on and do it. The Moonfire Fair, It's good for 5 minutes. So go ahead and
The
do
story
it.
for Moonfire Fair was kind of a letdown this year.
You know what? The Moonfire Fair is good for pretty glamour.
That's true.
I'm
I
glad
mean-
you can dye the swimsuits.
Yeah, me too. I'm still wearing mine, so I would say do it for the glamour. But if you've got the money, as dumb as this is going to sound, just buy the stupid fish and just turn them in, turn them in, turn them in. If you don't like it that much, go for that, you know, and just get it just so that you have the glamour. You know what I mean? It's worth it to have it. You know what I mean?
And if you want to be an entrepreneur, now is the time that you get a whole bunch of those fish, and you buy a whole bunch of those wind chimes, and you wait until 3 days from now, and then you put them up for $1 million gil a piece.
I'm gonna do that. I have that wind chime.
That's true.
Oh.
You can definitely do that if you want to be an entrepreneur like that.
Yeah, because the cherry trees went up in skyrocketing price right after the event went down.
Oh, it did. It totally did. I agree.
Okay, I'll have to get one more of those chimes and put one on the thing then.
I've got 10 set aside.
Probably a good idea. And our next segment that we've been doing for the last couple weeks is called This Eorzean Life. Basically, we take stories and from the lore of the game and present it to everybody so everybody knows what the lore is. This game has a rich, fascinating lore. The last couple weeks have been taken up by stories from the Dragonsong War, which a lot of them were really good. The last one should have been about somebody else. Not that I'm kind of still salty about that. But this week we actually get to dive into some lore in the game. And we're going to be talking about probably one of my favorite quest lines actually in the game. And that is the story of Edda. Is all the hosts familiar with the story?
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
Okay, so we first meet Edda in Oda, right before we go into Sasasha, right?
Lim said before we go into Sasasha, but yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. She's exhausted at the entrance of Sasasha, and she had to run to town to buy potions for a group that was mostly unsuccessful in their mission. And then her and the rest of the team are seen at the entrance of Tamtura Deepcroft. And after you complete the mission there, they're seen at the Carlin Canopy along with her team, with the exception of their team leader, Avir. They break into an argument, revealing that Avir was killed in their last mission, which the team is too quick to blame on Edda and her lack of skills before disbanding and going their separate ways. For unknown reason, spurting on grief, Edda has always kept his severed head. She's later stayed in Alda, where she meets the adventurer face to face. We learn that Avir was her fiance, and that he had admired the adventurer for all the accomplishments, motivating him to become one as well. And she explains that upon taking the proper look at the adventurer, she felt motivated to become a strong adventurer as well, before, heading back home to continue her training. However, she becomes overcome with grief and begins sending invitations out to her wedding to Avir in the Tamtura Deepcroft. One of the former team members, Payo Rayo, finds it suspicious, and he teams up with us to put an end to Edda's plans. However, we learn that she's performing a ritual to bring back a demonic version of Avir. After we destroy this, she panics and dies. But we kind of get the suspicion that this is not all like the end of it. This is a creepy one, but it's actually one of my favorites. How did you like it now?
I'm gonna be fully honest. It creeped me the fuck out, but I loved every minute of it.
Me too. And unfortunately, Dem had to go, so we're not going to be able to get her opinions on it, sadly.
But one of the things that I absolutely loved, and the reason why I always try to run dungeons with 3 other people that I know when they first come out, is there was torn pages in that Tamtara Decroft hard mode, which basically chronicled what happens after she leaves talking with you, to the point where she's at now, and you get to see her slowly descending into that madness, where she spends intimate time, quote unquote, intimate relationships with the severed head.
Oh yeah, this is creepy beyond creepy, and I know like one of the final cutscenes is probably one of the most burned-in images from this game that I have, and that's just that candlelight and the glow and just her face and everything. Just so creepy.
And you know what makes it even worse?
What?
Go stand around near the children in Windhurst, or not Windhurst, in Gridania. Go stand there for a little bit. You'll see her standing there, staring at them.
I'm waiting for the next part of the story, because there has to be another part, because I don't think she's truly dead.
Oh no, she's definitely dead. But we all know that death doesn't mean jack shit in this game.
That's true. And this is one of the first parts of the story that I actually thought, we actually learned that there's actually death, like permanent death for the NPCs in this game. Because we meet our first dead character. I mean, you don't really get to know them very much. All you know is at the time they're trying to prove themselves as adventurers as you're going around and, doing your Hero of Light routine. And they're trying to prove themselves, and then you get a little bit of, characterization when they're, breaking, arguing about whose fault was what. And unfortunately, they had to blame the healer of the group. But, yeah, I thought it was kind of creepy, though. But the thing I'm like, really concerned about is why shouldn't she, use Resurrect?
Actually, there's a very good reason for that. That level of dungeon, you don't get Resurrect by that point.
Why do I keep forgetting that?
That was actually one of the things that I discussed with a couple of my friends when we went through that, is that dungeon's capped one level before you get Resurrect.
Wow, they did their homework then. Because that's amazing that you actually get to... That happens,
The scariest part about this is, after you finish that quest, if you go out to Sastasha, there's another group of adventurers arguing with each other.
That's true. Yeah, I've seen them a couple times.
I'm wondering if that idea is going to haunt them.
I don't know. But I'd love to see, a part 3 of the storyline. I know I'm, it's creepy as hell to say, but, oh my god, I would love to have another part of it. Maybe... I know it's not going to be in the library, but the library would be an awesome place for it to be.
Maybe. We'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, that's true. But, guess what?
What?
We've got email. Email! For the 3rd week in a row, we got email. Thanks, everybody, for sending email. Please continue to send email. thewhisperingdawn@gmail.com. We would love to be able to get more emails and be able to read these, but this is from our favorite person, Anhui. We love him because he's the one that gave us our little name for our followers, the Whisperers. So, I mean, we love to hear more from everybody else, but let's get into his email here. He actually wants to know if we listen to music other than the game's background music while playing, and what we would like to... Actually, hold on one second here. Okay, well, I guess that is word for word. Wow. If you listen to music other than game's background while playing, what do you like to listen to instead? Do you like to listen to different things in different areas? If you don't play additional music, is there any zone where you enjoy just idling and listening to the background music? Whispering melodically on way. So, what do you listen to when you're playing?
When I'm just like zoning out and doing an event over and over and over again, I just have like a random playlist in the background of various Idolmaster songs. But if I'm doing like some hardcore working on like card farming or something, I actually switch on the Persona 3 soundtrack.
I think I lost everybody.
Well, I forgot to hit my talk button. So everyone in the stream literally just heard that. But not you in the recording, apparently. So let me to do that again. So basically when I am just, fluffing around and doing whatever, I have a general playlist of Idolmaster that I listen to. Idolmaster is like my love and my life. But when I'm doing like hardcore card farming and stuff, I typically throw on the Persona 3 soundtrack. And that includes the remixes that were released last year, the portable versions, and the FES extra story missions, because all that music just gets me pumped.
Oh, that's awesome. I basically, when I play, I don't listen to music per se. Like, if I do listen to stuff, I just, whatever is on my iPod, or my iPhone actually, is what I'll be listening to, which is an eclectic sort of music, from anything from game music to country to rap to rock to anything in between. But mostly I'm like actually listening to movies. I'll have my Netflix up most of the time and just be watching either TV shows or movies as I'm passing through this game, which kind of gets me into trouble sometimes in dungeons.
When I was fishing to raise my fish and capture some of the rare stuff I needed for the books and stuff, what I did was I would just throw on a TV series on the side and of my dual monitor and just like occasionally glance to the other screen and go, oh, I have to click the button. Okay, back to the show. Oh, I have to click the button again. Back to the show.
No, it got bad one time. I was running Wanderer's Palace, actually, the hard mode of that. And I was watching Gem and the Holograms at the time, and it was one of the ones I haven't seen in a long time, so I was kind of alternating between the game and that. And people were kind of looking at me, it was kind of getting mad at me because our life was going down very, very low.
Yes. I do watch TV shows too when I'm playing Triple Triad for the Imperial, because having played probably against him for maybe 20 to 30 hours combined now, like total playtime just against that one opponent, I know how he thinks inside out and backwards. So I can just occasionally glance at the board and know what I'm playing where.
Yeah, that's not as bad as playing in the middle of the game and like getting distracted by what's ever on the TV, because I've done that a lot of the time. Like when I'm watching like Netflix, I'll be running a dungeon at the same time, and it's been like, oh crap.
Bad healer. Bad. No cookie accommodation for you.
Yeah. So, yeah. Unfortunately, that's
pretty much everything.
Yep, I was gonna say it's time to wrap up the podcast here. We do appreciate everybody that's been listening to us live on Twitch TV, Whispering Dawn at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those who are not watching us live at the moment, you should come back and watch us live because we're like awesome live, and there's a couple of things that will probably be deleted in the regular podcast when I put it up because I do edit them. But come watch us live. Whisper us at thewhisperingdawn@gmail.com. Tweet at us at whispering_dawn, which I'm actually surprised this week. Before, when we gained a follower, we would have to sacrifice one to be able to keep the one we just got. However, we gained 5 of them in the last week without no ill repercussions, so I'm kind of happy about that.
Woo, progress!
Yes, and I would love more followers on Twitter, so follow us, please, if you're listening to this. Support us at our Patreon page, patreon.com, Whispering Dawn. We can get a lot better than this, I know we can. And we can do some awesome stuff for both our podcast community here and the community at large. So I do want to thank anybody who's thinking about it. Just go ahead and do it. Even if it's $1, it helps out immensely. And you still have other ways of communicating with us as well through our Facebook accounts, facebook.com Whispering Dawn, Tumblr, tumblr.com Whispering Dawn, or whatever. It's something like that.
It's a Tumblr. It's crazy.
Yeah. And our YouTube page, which is, youtube.com Whispering Dawn. So, that's a lot of ways to catch us. We're still working on a website, so hopefully we can have that up by the end of the month, I'm hoping. But without support from our whisperers out there, there's no way we can have it at the end of the month. I would love to have it at the end of the month, by the end of the month, to have a website for everybody. But that's just my ramblings there. Come check us out during the week whenever we stream live. I know I stream Last of Us usually on Tuesdays. And Dem said she's going to start streaming Final Fantasy X, so we're going to get we're going to start getting people to stream on here. I know now you got your own channel to stream on, so I don't expect you to stream on Whispering Dawn, so...
No, that's fine. If I'm ever streaming and you guys aren't, feel free to rehost me or something. So that way, people can always check it out that way too. I typically do, I'm doing the Road to Xenoblade Chronicles X, because series is one of my favorite series of all time. I'm doing those Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, with Mondays and Thursdays being a 7 p.m. Eastern start time until I'm ready to crash, and Saturday being probably 10-hour streams. So yeah, if you're ever interested and you want to see when I do that, you can follow me on Twitter as well, at MelCelestine, for my personal information stuff, as well as my own Chocobo Dash stuff.
Which reminds me, you had a Chocobo Dash episode yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I recorded a new Chocobo Dash episode.
Woohoo, I can't wait to listen to it.
I have to edit it. I was going to edit it today, but after streaming for 10 hours plus doing the recording yesterday, I was kind of beaten and ended up sleeping for a good 12 hours last night.
I kind of, but we're going to wrap this up here. We already went through our information up there, so everybody probably heard about it. Please support us on patreon.com, Whispering Dawn. Other than that, I will see everybody next week.
Bye-bye!